A cordial greeting. Today is Saturday, August 16, 2025. This is meteorologist Ruben Garcia. At the time of recording this video, it is 7:15 in the morning, local time in the northeastern Caribbean, where we are closely monitoring the evolution of the powerful Hurricane Erin, which rapidly intensified overnight and is currently a Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. In the 5 a.m. advisory, the National Hurricane Center reported that Erin had strengthened into a major hurricane, and a Hurricane Hunter aircraft inside the system found it continued strengthening, which prompted the National Hurricane Center to issue a special advisory at 5:50 a.m. stating that it is now a Category 4 hurricane. So, Hurricane Erin has definitely intensified much faster than forecast and is currently located near latitude 19.6 degrees north, longitude 61.5 degrees west. In the infrared satellite image we can see how impressive its circulation looks. Also, notice that it has a very small, clear eye, which has helped it intensify in this way. This kind of rapid intensification sometimes occurs in systems with very small eyes. And as if that weren't enough, it seems the hurricane continues to strengthen as I record this video, since there is evidence that the eye is contracting, making it very likely that winds will soon increase above 130 miles per hour. Additionally, in the infrared satellite animation, you can see a strong band affecting the northern Leeward Islands. These bands can also be seen on Puerto Rico's Doppler radar, showing widespread rain moving in from the Atlantic toward these islands. Therefore, the next 48 hours are expected to bring heavy rainfall and some tropical storm-force wind gusts. Another thing we've been observing during the early morning hours is that the center of circulation has had a slight wobble toward the west-southwest, something typical of hurricanes of this intensity, known as a wobble. Although this movement can cause some concern for Puerto Rico and the Lesser Antilles, these erratic wobbles are usually short-lived, and the system is projected to soon resume its west-northwest track. In fact, this southwestward component has been confirmed by the Hurricane Hunter aircraft. On its first pass, the center was located near latitude 19.6 degrees north, and now it is closer to 19.5 degrees north. However, again, this type of movement is normal in hurricanes of this intensity, especially when they are about to undergo an eyewall replacement cycle. What this means is that there will not be a direct impact on the Lesser Antilles and Puerto Rico, though the system may pass a little closer than initially projected, perhaps about 175 miles northeast of the region. That said, this does not change the forecast impacts for the northeastern Caribbean. Heavy rain, gusty winds that may reach tropical storm strength, and very strong and dangerous surf along the coasts are still expected this weekend. Looking in more detail at the aircraft data, between the two passes, barometric pressure dropped, confirming what the satellite imagery suggested, that Hurricane Erin has continued to intensify this morning. But it is very important to review the official forecast from the National Hurricane Center, which still shows the hurricane passing about 175 to 200 miles northeast of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, reaching its closest point tonight, Saturday, into early Sunday. Although there is a chance the track may shift slightly farther west and south, the center would still remain well to the northeast of the region, keeping sustained tropical storm and hurricane force winds over the ocean. Still, with this proximity, some outer rain bands may affect the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands over the next 48 hours. This is why we must closely monitor updates from the National Weather Service, as some of these rain bands may cause significant flooding. Another very important detail from the Hurricane Hunter aircraft is the wind distribution. The red, violet, and pink areas show hurricane force winds, while yellow shows tropical storm force winds. With the center here, notice that on the southern side of the circulation winds range from 25 to 35 miles per hour. Fortunately, the weaker side of the system lies to the south, at least in terms of wind. For this reason, sustained tropical storm force winds are projected to remain northeast of Puerto Rico and the northern Leeward Islands. However, in this wind gust projection animation from the European model, shown in orange, some tropical storm force gusts could affect coastal and mountainous areas between Puerto Rico and the northern Leeward Islands. This means that with some rain bands, gusts of 30 to 40 miles per hour could be felt over the next 48 hours. As for rainfall, the heaviest totals will remain north of the region. However, models continue to project that Puerto Rico and the northern Leeward Islands could receive 2 to 5 inches of rain, with some isolated spots exceeding 6 inches. For the Dominican Republic, it currently looks like tropical storm force winds will stay over the Atlantic, with rainfall amounts between 25 to 50 millimeters. Looking into the medium and long range, models remain in good agreement that Erin will maintain a west-northwest track before eventually curving north-northeast, passing well away from the Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas, and in about 5 days passing between North Carolina and Bermuda. Under this scenario, Hurricane-force winds and the heaviest rainfall would remain over open waters without directly impacting land. Finally, I want to show you the American model projection simulating how Hurricane Erin might appear on infrared satellite imagery. It shows that within the next 48 hours, Erin is likely to undergo an eye wall replacement cycle, which could result in a very intense hurricane with an extremely large eye when it reaches north of the Bahamas. In fact, before I wrap up, I want to mention that with the intensity changes observed overnight and this morning, we cannot rule out the possibility that Erin could approach Category 5 strength in the next 48 to 72 hours. Here at Hurricane Info, I will continue closely monitoring the hurricane's evolution, and if necessary, I will record another video should any unexpected changes in the forecast occur. So, it's important that before you leave, you give this video a like. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you'll receive notifications when I record new videos. That's all for now. See you later.